James Cook.
But Smitty, he had 1,000,000 touchdowns last year, and I own him in 3 leagues.
This one's going to be painful for you James Cook owners. Buckle up. The Fantasy Football Show begins now. Ray Davis, you're looking at a midseason monster, ladies and gentlemen. This is a guy that's going to bring the thunder at some point during the season. I feel it in my gut. While I'm a little bit apprehensive to, I don't know, throw shade on a player that just dropped a whopping 16 rushing touchdowns. The guy only had 1,009 yards. 4.9 a pop, not bad. Obviously good yards per tote, but this is a guy that was down in yards, a guy that was down in carries. He was not performing as a top 10 running back on any other level, any other category. It was all touchdowns. I understand it's very easy to be like, hey, let's rinse and repeat what happened last year. Hey, James Cook, I've always kind of liked him, Smitty. I think this could actually hold. Ray Davis had 3 TDs on the ground rushing, 442 yards and 3 TDs. He also had 3 receiving touchdowns. 189 yards, 17 receptions, 3 TDs, 6 total. Now, 3.9 yards per pop. If we're going to critique James Cook with a down yardage year and be critical, we got to be critical of 3.9 a pop. But I saw a monster in Ray Davis, and I certainly don't care about the yards per carry when my gut is screaming that this guy is a super efficient running back that they want to feed the ball to, especially at and around the goal line. I think the tables could turn here. They could flip, and this guy could rush for more rushing touchdowns than this guy. And given that he barely had 1,000 yards last year, what's making me cling to his value at all and not just saying, give me the cheap cost of entry, practically free, zero risk player in Davis, who scored 6 total touchdowns last year, and abandon the player who barely had 1,000 yards but had 16 rushing touchdowns? This one's easy. Give me the standalone Ray Davis value, the win a league value, in my opinion, the player that costs you nothing. He can't lose you a league. He can't even make you upset if he gets abducted by aliens or bust for whatever reason. You won't even get mad. You will not lose a league. In non-best ball, you just cut him and pick up someone else. In best ball, you're going to get something out of him. Unless he gets injured, you're going to get something out of him. He scored 6 touchdowns as a rookie, not even getting starter touches. But if he gets in there, he wins the league. That's why he's a midseason monster. That's why we have this list right here for a reason. These are monsters. These are moon men potential players. They could play out of their mind crazy, but they cost literally nothing. A lot of these guys are backups right now, so they cost a backup value. But my greater point here is that to draft a player that barely got over 1,000 yards, that was not a top 10 running back on any level if you take away his touchdowns. And I'm not saying taking away touchdowns is a smart business in terms of trying to predict whether a player is going to be good or not. But when nothing else is even remotely close to top 10 running back numbers, and he's a top 5 to 10 running back, you have to look at it and go, what is the rationale behind expecting another double-digit touchdown year, let alone 16 out of James Cook? James Cook wasn't fed touchdowns to that degree at all. He was getting more touchdowns sum total than Cook was getting before this 2024 campaign. Now, Cook hasn't played a ton of years yet, but a handful of years that make me believe I can at least see a pattern that they're not going to be consistent in their touchdown distribution in Buffalo in 2025 versus 2024. And let me be completely transparent here. If Ray Davis goes crazy in 2025, we might not be on the Ray Davis train in 2026 because of the very reason I'm explaining, the inconsistent distribution of touchdown production in Buffalo. That Josh Allen could run for 15 touchdowns and the running attack only get 9 or 10 total. Outside of that, that could be the case. Maybe Keon Coleman takes a big step forward this year and the passing attack absorbs a lot of the touchdown scoring opportunities. Look, bottom line is this guy costs way too much. He's going at value ranges that are ridiculous, and that's what it's really about. If you're going to hear anything I say today, and you know, maybe you're trying to say, Smitty, I'm fighting it. I've got Cook in 3 leagues. I'm fighting this. This is a tough battle for me to fight right now. I'm almost going to move on from this video and come back tomorrow. Hang with me really quickly, because it's not so much about, is he talented? Could he potentially deliver a 10 or 12 touchdown season? Maybe he gets 1,100 yards rushing or 1,200 yards rushing. Is that in the realm of possibility? Yes. Doesn't mean that you should be drafting him. James Cook has an ADP of 40 to 42 32 overall. I'll venture to say that he probably has more of a non-best ball, like a 37 to 44 ADP. If you're going to try and include all the different platforms and such, like non-best ball and best ball, it's going to be somewhere in this territory. And the truth of the matter is, again, it's not about thinking he can't replicate on some level his season from 2024. The question is, are you really going to draft a guy like James Cook over a player like Hampton, who's going below him? Hampton's ADP is 46 overall. His ADP is 46 overall. Are you taking Walker, who has a ADP, and I know Walker has risk, I get it, but 55. Cuff him to Charbonnet, and I like him better. But I could see somebody saying no Walker, and I'm fine with that. But are you really going to draft James Cook over Breece Hall, who has the exact same ADP as Cook? This is the same cost of entry. ADP data is exactly the same across all formats pretty much. And so I'm taking Hall all day long. You might not want Hall. That might be the one player you don't like. But even if I scroll down and I'm talking 20 overall ADP spots, 20, I see a guy like Harvey sitting there who you could cuff to JK very easily if you were worried about that. But give me Harvey all day over James Cook. James Cook lives in a committee, in my opinion, that's probably more dangerous than J.K. Dobbins, the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League. Harvey is safer. Long-term, he's safer. Maybe Harvey starts off the year on some sort of like bumpy road, but it's going to go this way. It's going to go upward. His carry total, his workload, the reliance upon him, his struggles will diminish and his opportunities will go up in his production, his efficiency, his ability to learn the offense and just get bigger plays. While the likelihood of James Cook maybe starting off great, but tailing off like that and them crossing paths later on in the season. This is much more likely to be Cook right here and this to be Harvey. Or honestly, you could use Harvey here and just replace it with Hampton. Replace it with Henderson as well. Hendy. This is the same trajectory, I believe, for every one of these top 3-4 rookie running backs. They're going to be going up and Cook is going to be going down. The opportunities, the scoring, the efficiency, everything. And even if you say, well, Harvey's going 20 picks later, am I really going to draft Harvey over Cook? No, that's when we have the discussion of, instead of James Cook, you could take another RB if you want, but you could go into the 40s right now on ADP data and find a handful of players that are just much better options. Travis Hunter is going way behind James Cook ADP wise, and I like Hunter all day long. It's about 5, maybe it's not way behind in some formats, but 5 to 10 picks different maybe. So it's within reason, though you don't need to necessarily reach. JSN's going about 10 picks ahead, so we might not be able to include him. I think DK Metcalf is a very comparable wide receiver to replace James Cook with if you were going to go Harvey later, as an example. And you could go on and pick guys like Pickens out of here, and Xavier Worthy is a good option. Mike Evans, those are all players that are going to linger around where Cook's ADP is. But I don't end there. I still say, rather than draft Cook in the mid 4th round, okay, I'm taking Harvey in 5. I've no problem with that. Hampton in 4 in place of Cook, but Harvey in 5 would be fantastic. And then I just go quarterback shopping at that 40 to 45, 40 to 49 range, 37 to 45 range, wherever we believe that to be, wherever we believe the Cook value in ADP to likely be. But on Underdog, promo code Smitty, Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So smash the link in the description, use code Smitty. We'll be drafting on Underdog almost every single night at midnight Eastern. We go live to draft. I'm seeing Jalen Hurts go on Underdog. And Underdog, again, could be a little bit different than non-best ball. Hurts could be another 5-10 spots higher on a non-best ball platform, but 47 overall. Cook's ADP was, remember, about 37 to 45. So this is a player that's going 10 times out of 10 after James Cook in Best Ball Mania drafts. That's crazy. But even if we ignore that and we just say, okay, well, Cook's ADP again, is 37 to 45, we're calling it. We got Burrow, who has an ADP on underdog, and this might be different in non-best ball, but even then it will be later because on underdog best ball, Burrow's going 62 overall. So let's say in your grandma league, he goes earlier. He's still probably only going 45 to 50 territory, which is still ahead of Cook. So again, draft Burrow instead of James Cook and take Harvey the next round. If you're not settled on the fact of drafting Breece Hall, just, in place of Cook in the same draft slot, or taking freaking Hampton in round 4 instead of drafting Cook in that draft slot. If you want to go Harvey, you punt running back in this round, take it the next round, take Joe Burrow at freaking 45 to 50 overall. I mean, George Kittle's going number 43. You could take Kittle instead of James Cook and then take Harvey in the 5th round, or take whoever in the 5th round. I'm going to leave you with this. This is the guy I want. Ray Davis has league winner written all over him. And if you want anything tangible to hold on to, if you think, oh, Smitty, you've done a lot of talking today and I don't feel convinced, well, let me just tell you this. I don't care what the data says. I don't care. He was running at a 3.9 yard per carry average, Ray Davis. I don't care because my eyeballs aren't lying to me. I know when he got the ball, he looked amazing. He was making people miss. And sometimes when you're in that spot duty role, you're getting some bad carries. Sometimes you're getting good carries. Sometimes the change of pace back, it's a wide open lane, and then they average more yards per carry until they start, and then that number goes down. We see that a lot. But with this case, I watch Ray Davis. I know what my eyeballs are telling me, and he is a monster. And if he gets the opportunities that James Cook got at and around the goal line, he's going to do exactly what James Cook did with it. And the fact that he's been holding out, holding in, he's back now, I get it. But he's causing a fuss. He wants his money. Who knows if he starts, making a stink later. He's there right now in good faith, but maybe he steps away. I could just see it right now. A week from now, 2 days from now, 2 weeks from now, we might hear James Cook has a quote-unquote hamstring injury, and he's holding in. The Buffalo Bills are going to go bye-bye, and they're going to hand the ball to this man, Ray Davis. Now, James Cook didn't hold out that long. It wasn't even a holdout. It was more of a kind of making a statement for just a little bit of time, like a week's worth of just making a fuss. He's not going to be prone to injury because of that holdout, but I do believe that he is going to be in a vulnerable position no matter which way you spin this. Ray Davis, the way the Bills rotate their backs, the way the Bills change from year to year in distributing those touchdowns, the way their offense is from year to year, and the fact that the Bills had no passing production really last year because the wide receivers were not on the same page. Shakir just got his extension. Keon Coleman had the wrist injury. I think Coleman takes a big step forward. I believe Ray Davis is the only back to own this year in 2025 because of the cost of entry. If Cook fell to the 5th round, I'd be back in. Keep in mind, this is a player that we said go trade for in 2024. This is a league winner that this show called. That this show said, you go get Cook, you're going to win your league. You go get Jamison Williams, you're going to win your league. But when those players blow up like we predict, it comes at a cost that's much higher the next year. A cost that we say, no, I'm not buying this guy's value when he is free and he's got just as much upside. Don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday. But don't forget to get on over to my Patreon. $10 a month, cancel anytime. The link's in the description of the video. It's a 24/7 live chat group. It's even better during games when we're all piled into this like game day lounge right here. And we're just play by play. You see that touchdown? Bijan scored. Achan 50-yard run. People are like, what? I'm behind. Oh my God, 50-yard run. $10 a month, cancel anytime. Check it out. And don't forget, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm additionally live whenever big news breaks, and I'm live most every single night at midnight Eastern, graveyard shift, where we do underdog drafting. Promo code Smitty, links in the description. Code Smitty also gets it done. 50% matching your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Hit that link that's in the description and join me midnights Eastern. See you all on the next one.